In 1974, nearly 30 years after World War II had ended, a Japanese soldier walked out of the Philippine jungle. He was carrying a rifle. He wore a faded military uniform, and he believed the war was still being fought. During those 29 years, presidents came and went. Humanity landed on the moon. Television entered millions of homes. The world changed forever. But deep inside a small jungle on Lubang Island, time had simply stopped. His name was Hiroo Onoda, and this is one of the most extraordinary true stories ever told. Hiroo Onoda was born in Japan in 1922. As the Second World War intensified, he joined the Imperial Japanese Army. Unlike many soldiers, Onoda received special training in intelligence and guerrilla warfare. He wasn't taught to fight glorious battles. He was taught something far more dangerous. Never surrender. Never give up. Continue the mission at any cost. In December 1944, he was sent to Lubang Island in the Philippines. Before leaving, his commanding officer gave him one final order. No matter what happens, you are forbidden to surrender, even if it takes years. Return alive. Just months later, Japan surrendered. World War II was over. Across the Pacific, soldiers laid down their weapons. Families celebrated peace. Cities began rebuilding. But Onoda never heard the news. Or rather, he refused to believe it. Allied aircraft dropped thousands of leaflets into the jungle. They announced that the war had ended. Newspapers were left behind. Letters from family members appeared. Even photographs. To Onoda, every one of them looked exactly like enemy propaganda. The better the evidence became, the more convinced he was that it had been created to deceive him. Years passed. Then decades. The small group of soldiers hiding with Onoda slowly disappeared. Some surrendered. Some died. Eventually, he was alone. He survived by hunting, collecting bananas, gathering coconuts, stealing rice from nearby farms, repairing his uniform over and over again, cleaning his rifle almost every day. It remained fully functional. Every morning he woke up believing one thing: the mission continues. Somewhere beyond the trees, the war was still waiting. Meanwhile, the world kept moving. Jet aircraft crossed oceans. The Beatles became famous. Humans walked on the moon. Color television became normal. Yet Onoda remained inside the same forest, hidden, waiting, fighting a war that no longer existed, except inside his own mind. In 1974, a young Japanese adventurer named Norio Suzuki entered the jungle with an unusual goal. He later said he wanted to find three things: Lieutenant Onoda, a panda, and the abominable snowman. Amazingly, he found Onoda first. The two men spoke. Suzuki explained that Japan had changed. The war had ended almost 3 decades earlier. But Onoda refused to surrender. He calmly replied, "I will only obey orders from my commanding officer." What happened next sounded impossible. The Japanese government located Onoda's former commander. By then, he was no longer a soldier. He had become a civilian. But he agreed to travel to Lubang Island, standing face to face with the man he had last seen 30 years earlier. He officially relieved Onoda of duty. Only then did Hiroo Onoda lower his rifle. Nearly 29 years after the war had ended, his weapon was still operational. His uniform had been repaired countless times. His discipline had never disappeared. History often remembers wars by the battles that were fought. But sometimes, the most extraordinary story begins after the fighting ends. Hiroo Onoda did not spend 29 years in the jungle because he hated peace. He stayed because he believed he was keeping a promise made to his commander, a promise that became stronger than time itself. His story is not simply about war. It is about duty, belief, identity, and the incredible power of the human mind. Because sometimes, the hardest prison to escape is the one built by absolute conviction. Thank you for watching Memory of Light. Subscribe for more extraordinary true stories hidden in the pages of history.